Good morning and welcome in. I'm Rhonda Holt, the Loan Maven with Thrive Mortgage, and welcome to the program. And I'm here in the studio of WLNI with Mary White. Hey, Mary.
Hi, Rhonda. How are you?
I am doing great. I am on this Saturday. I think that the weather may be starting to break, but I know that a lot of people in other places of the country has been really having a blizzard, like in California. I mean, come on.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. And what do they say? March goes in like a lion, out like a lamb. But so far, so good.
Well,
for us.
Right, for us. I know that I've been seeing on my walk yesterday evening, I saw like buttercups coming up, and I'm like, these poor buttercups are going to die because frost is still coming.
Right. They're all a little confused.
That's what they say. I don't know. But we are talking all things mortgages, and we do that every week. We talk about everything from first-time home buying to all the different loan products that are available to you, what the market is going to do and is doing right now. And we're going to be talking about the market today. And we're going to be talking about an upcoming exciting change that's going to help a lot of people get into a home or make things more affordable. Plus, we're going to have our special guest today is going to be Callie, Waldo, and Blake Shorter. They are going to be realtors joining us in our second part of the program. And we're going to be talking about where is the market right now? Where is home buying right now? How are home sales doing? But before we get into that, I do want to mention some things that's upcoming in the market as far as changes. The FHA program, or I should say HUD, through the Federal Housing Administration, they have just announced that they're going to make a huge change that's going to help a lot of people get into houses easier and make things more affordable. Just to give you some background, FHA mortgages accounted for 7.5% of all home sales in the U.S. in the third quarter of 2022. And they're targeted at home buyers that particularly may not be able to actually get into a home normally due to not so great credit, a low credit score. It is designed for low to middle income borrowers. However, it really doesn't have an income limitation to that particular program like we've talked about on some of the programs. But this is FHA. If you think that you can't buy or you have bad credit or you think there are issues there, this is going to be the program that we're going to look at. Because this is probably, if anybody can probably approve you, it's going to be through the FHA program. That's just the way it is. But as of on or before, and I believe it's coming into effect as of the March 1 applications that are coming about, the HUD is going to be reducing their mortgage insurance premiums by 0.30%. So what's being happening now, FHA charges 0.85% of a loan amount in a mortgage insurance premium that's added to your monthly payment each and every month. So if we looked at that on a calculation scale, we would look at the fact that on a $200,000 house, that's going to probably save you around $50 a month. So that's a huge savings for people, especially are trying to get into a house with a low monthly payment, or we may have debt versus income problems and can't get them in a house. So if you reduce their monthly payment, say on a $200,000 house by $50, then obviously that's going to help them get in.
Mm-hmm.
And make that monthly payment much lower. So it's reduced to 0.55% is going to be the new premium monthly. Now, also FHA does have a funding fee that they charge home buyers. And that's to help with the program, to help a lot of folks that can't afford to get into a home. The funding fee is there in case, their loans that may go into default whatever. But the funding fee on the FHA loan is 1.75% of the purchase price, and that 1.75% is added on top of the loan. Now, a client doesn't have to pay that in addition to closing cost, but it is added onto the loan. So you are going to, if you keep the FHA loan, you are going to pay back more.
Okay.
But in some cases, this may be a situation where we have to put you into an FHA loan, and this would be the best alternative for you to be able to get into a home ownership and not pay rent.
And that's already in effect or getting ready to go
into
effect?
That's getting ready to go into effect this month.
Great.
So any new applications that we're taking, we're going to start seeing that reduced mortgage insurance. So that's going to help a lot of folks. So if you have maybe applied in the past and been turned down for, say, debt versus income, maybe we need to relook at you just to see if by chance, since that now reduction in the mortgage insurance premium every month can help you lower your debt versus income. If you're a person that maybe hasn't applied and have been thinking about it, perhaps you have student loans out there, even though you're not making payments on the student loans, we have to count a payment against you with the FHA loan. We still have to calculate a payment in there. And we're not talking about student loans today, but if you're thinking, your debt's a little too high, this may be a way for you to explore first-time home buying or say you've owned a home in the past and you're not a first-time home buyer. FHA is designed for all folks. And we can certainly look at to see if you qualify for the FHA program with a reduced MI. Now, you're here talking in the studio. We're with Mary White, and I'm Rhonda Holt with Thrive Mortgage, and we're talking about all things mortgage, and we're talking about the FHA, how we've reduced the mortgage insurance premium. Another good thing that's coming about April 7th of 2023 is something dealing with the VA loan. And we talked about VA loans last week and the VA funding fees. So Congress instituted a VA funding fee to help reduce the government's cost associated with administering the VA home loan benefit. As you know, if you were listening to my program last week, and we also have it out there on YouTube and Apple Podcast, but the VA home loan benefit is where you can go and buy a home with no money down and no private mortgage insurance. And we also at Thrive Mortgage do not charge any lender fees to do that in your closing costs. That saves you $1,700. But what's happening with the VA program is that they're going to be reducing their funding fee for purchases and construction loans, along with cash out refinances. So if you're doing any of those things using a VA home loan benefit at 100% financing, they're going to reduce that funding fee by 0.15. So right now, if we're looking at funding fees, and we just talked about funding fee is something that's added on to the loan. You do not have to pay it out of pocket, but it's just a way to get the 100% financing or reduced down payment loans. So if you are using the VA benefit for the first time, your funding fee is normally 2.3%, and that's of the purchase price. Now, with the new discount that's coming about April 7th, you would be having a funding fee of 2.15%. So I did a calculation. If you were doing a $200,000 VA loan, that would save you about $300 on the funding fee. So any little bit helps, I say.
It does, yes.
Everything is going up, and Mary and I talk about it from time to time. Groceries are going up. Everything's going up.
Yes.
So any way that we can help things a little bit, help you get into a home a little bit easier with a little less money or a little less cost in the long run, this is what we want to do. This particular funding fee reduction for VA loans also goes a step further, and some people are able to put money down on the VA loans. So if you put at least 5% down on the VA loan, or you happen to be doing a cash out refinance on the VA loan, they're going to reduce that funding fee by 0.30 instead of 0.15. So that would save you a great deal of money on these particular types of loans with the VA. Remember that veterans, if you have a veteran loan now and you have some equity in your home, you can cash out and get up to 100% of that money out of your VA equity, out of that equity of that house. And no other program offers that. Most of them are like 80% of the equity. VA is a wonderful thing to be able to get some cash out, pay off some debt, use it for home improvement, medical expenses, whatever you want to use it for, or just have it there in case of an emergency. So again, you do not have to put 5% down for the VA. And another thing that we've talked about in the past too with the VA, if you've used your benefit in the past, you can still use it again. You know, there are different subsequent funding fees involved, but if you've used it 3 years ago to buy a house, you sell the house, you can use it again. It kind of, as long as everything is still fine, you still can reactivate it. And I like, again, the fact that the VA loans are there for people who have served, National Guard, reserves as well. So that is a wonderful thing, that having the reduced funding fees, having the reduced MI on the FHA insurance, you can get into a house very easily. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with Callie, Waldo, and Blake Shorter, and we're going to tell you all about the market. See you in a bit.
All right, here we go.
Now back to the Loan Maven Show. Here's Rhonda Holt with Thrive Mortgage.
Welcome back in. I'm Rhonda Holt, the Loan Maven with Thrive Mortgage, and we have been talking all things mortgage this morning with Mary White and I, and that's all we talk about every Saturday here at 11:30 on WLNI. Also, I wanted to remind you guys that we do re-air our podcast on Apple, and you can also visit my YouTube channel on the Loan Maven. So we have a new channel out there on YouTube, so be sure to like and subscribe to the Loan Maven on YouTube. So you'll see all the videos posted there and some other fun, interesting facts about mortgages and things that might interest you. But I've got some exciting guests with me today. Some of my favorite folks. We've got Callie, Waldo, and Blake Shorter. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey, Rhonda.
So it's good to have you guys in the studio, and I know that you all have been really burning it up. I say burning it up because you have been everywhere. You are listing homes, you're getting them sold. I know that you guys are always out and about and looking for ways and opportunities to get people into homes. And, and especially, first-time home buyers. So tell us what differentiates you from a realtor, because there's so many. What are there, 1,200 realtors now?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So what differentiate, if I could talk today, what makes you different than every other realtor?
So there are a lot of good realtors out there. We have a lot of realtor friends. And I think the really good thing about working with Blake and I is it's very hard for us to find someone that we don't get along with together, or one of us can really connect with. Like, I work really well with first time home buyers, and he might not work as well with a sweet little college girl, but he's ho-humming with a 70-year-old. We get along really well with a lot of people, and it's hard for us not to find common ground with most.
Right. I agree. And you all work as a team, although you're kind of separate too. Like you said, you might click with one buyer versus Blake might click with someone else. So,
but we still work together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we pass back and forth. Like, you know, if one's not available, the other one may be. So we try to, you know, work around everybody's schedule and be as accommodating as possible.
Yeah. Well, you all do a great job. And so maybe give us a little insight. The market is, of course, different than it was, say, 8 months or a year ago.
It is.
But it's still hot.
It is. It's a seller's market in Lynchburg, Forest area. It's still a strong seller's market, but we have seen a lot of like a 50 to 60%, some areas even 100% increase in listings just from December to January. So there's an uptick
Yeah.
in the market.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so I would say that, you know, obviously you know, when you say it's an uptick in the market, so, and you said it's a seller's market, so if you're a buyer out there, is now still the right time to buy?
Well, if you have to move and you find the right house, you know, you just have to be patient and persistent.
Yeah.
It's always a great time to buy. I also did some research, and homes are selling at listing price or not much. We were in a time, maybe even just 2 years ago, where houses were selling for, you know, way over asking price. And so we've kind of leveled out now, where it's a seller's market, but it's also great for buyers as well.
Yeah.
And Blake and I really enjoy working with buyers, because he goes in and he looks at a house and he sees the house, like, okay, well, it needs this, it needs this, it needs this, or this would be great for you guys. And, you know, I am also kind of working with the buyers and making them feel comfortable and sending them to Miss Rhonda. And it's a seller's market, but it's also always a buyer's market.
Right.
You know, people are always moving. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say you're right. I think that even though I hear it most of the time where buyers are very nervous about buying in this market, but because they're worried about interest rates. But honestly, if you look in comparison to where we were 8 months ago or a year, when you, like you're saying, when houses were selling $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over list price, yes, the rates were a little lower, not much lower, but you got to figure it's relative. It's basically the same market. It's just you're not overpaying for the price of the house, and you're getting it for still a decent rate. So it is a great time to buy. Do you see many buyers coming out of rentals getting into buying a house or wanting to buy from rent?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Because rents are going up.
goodness.
Rent prices are going up. So a lot of people that, you know, you can buy a house and pay less than you're paying renting, but you just need to wait for the right time and for the right house to come along, and you need to get with Rhonda and get pre-approved. And
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, and you know, I know it's important for you as a realtor, and we haven't talked about this too. When a realtor refers business to, say, when you guys refer business to me or a lender in general, what's important to you as far as that lender, knowing you referred that person? What's important to you as far as with a client?
well, I like to see a lender that's available anytime a client needs them, because it's not just a Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like, you know, people are looking on the weekends, or, you know, they're off work. Maybe, you know, maybe they work a different shift or things like that. So just being available and being able to get back with people when they do see our house or have a question about, you know, a different loan type for a different home, things like that.
Yeah.
Really important.
Same here.
I had a really sweet lady reach out to me a few months ago, actually, and she was going through some personal things. She wasn't quite ready to buy, but last night at 10:45, she was like, Callie, I think I'm ready. I'm still healing, but I think I'm ready. And I was like, well, you know, here's a few people to call.
Yeah.
Rhonda, she's probably still working.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, we do. We have to work those types of hours, and we have to work nights and weekends to be able to help people like yourself, because you're out showing properties and people want to buy, you know, when they are not working and busy with other things, obviously. So when we as a market, are you seeing that people are still fighting over houses, or is it multiple offers on one house? What are you seeing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there are definitely multiple offers on most every home that we either have gotten under contract for a client, or we lost out and we thought we had a great offer. But again, the markets, the statistics are telling us that homes are generally selling about as is, as the asking price. But there's still a lot of offers being put in on houses just because the inventory is low.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you find that there are more offers? Obviously, cash would be one of the top offers that people probably get bid out on. But other than cash, what would you see is more of a competitive offer? What have you been seeing? Conventional loans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how about if the seller maybe is able to pay their own closing cost?
Yeah.
Those
not
are usually
asking for those things, and not being as picky on asking the seller to pay those closing costs. I think it would help.
Yeah. So, if we could find a way, if the client has some things and maybe they don't have money for down payment and closing costs, but maybe we can offer them a down payment assistance program, and then they save or can get a gift from a relative for the down payment. That would even be better. For the closing cost.
Right.
So that would help you out as well. So what do you see about spring and summer coming up?
I was just about to say spring is coming.
Yeah.
So we should be getting some more houses soon, hopefully.
Yeah. So how do you, and I want to mention too, how could people contact you and tell them the company that you work for? Callie, how would they contact you?
Cell phone
Mm-hmm.
or email. Mark, we're with Mark A Dalton Company.
What's your cell phone?
540-875-9615. And Blake?
Yeah, Blake here. I work with Mark A Dalton Company as well. You can reach me at 434-610-7857, or you can Google me, Blake
we're on
Shorter.
Google.
Yeah, great.
Or Facebook.
Yeah, and we'll put these in the comments of the video as well. So what would you say that you do as far as one thing that you maybe do that maybe outshines you for your clients? As far as I know that sometimes by the time they show up on Zillow, they might be already under contract or something like that. So you know your clients, and where you keep it, you just know what they're looking for, and then you call them, or what?
So personally, I have a Zillow search for every single one of my clients, and I'll get a notification on my phone, and the second a house pops up in their search,
Right.
I'm on the phone.
Good.
I'm like, guys,
Good.
this just popped up. We need to go see it.
Right.
I just put together like a general, criteria. I've kind of been building and fixing homes and have a good understanding of the housing and see what people want, and just being readily available when, say, homes hit the market, or if you hear of homes, in your own brokerage that are coming up, let them know, and just stay on top of it.
Right.
It's really important to us to always answer the phone and be willing to
Available.
go
Right.
when they need. Can you meet us in an hour? Yes, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Because
I don't see how you do it. Y'all stay so busy. You're everywhere now.
well, we have 5 children together.
Wow.
Yes, but we
Wow.
do it. We're there.
Wow.
Because it's that important. Waiting one day could mean not
Right.
getting the house. So
That's important to
it's
people.
very
And
important.
then Callie will pay me to babysit for us.
I hear you. I hear
I
you.
wish.
Yeah. But no, so all of that sounds wonderful. So I know that if people reach out to you, you will take good care of them. You're good with all sorts of people. And right now is a great time to list your home. If you're on the fence about selling, as you've heard here today, there are lots of people still looking for houses.
We have buyers lined up.
Yes,
Right.
ready, pre-qualified, ready to go. We get in houses and we paint for them. Do you guys need paint? Sure, we'll be in there. We'll put in some sweat equity for you. We'll paint your walls. I had cleaned for one of my listings for 2 days. And
Wow.
Yeah,
We-
and I had one
Just
of
to
my
get it ready.
employees come
to get
over
it
there
ready.
and work, and
He
we were
paid
in
his
there.
employee to come
Yeah.
help clean somebody's house to list it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you all know a lot of people in the area. You're very familiar with the area. And I know that you treat folks right as far as buying or selling, as far as listing houses. You know how to get things on the market and make it very marketable. And that's what's important in this particular industry. So if you all are interested, please contact Callie Waldo or Blake Shorter, and they'll be glad to help you with listing or buying a new home.
I'm over here sweating.
Sweating too.
Like,
I'm a little
I'm
Hello, guys. We are here for our mortgage fact. Fun fact for the day. So I think I knew this in the back of my head. Let's see Mary. Mary knew about this.
Okay.
All right. So Sears, Sears and Roebuck, or that's what I remember it. Sears, they had a catalog available from 1908 to 1940 where you did DIY your whole houses. You could design your whole house, and they had a catalog and like blueprints of different houses, and there's as many as 75,000 home kits were sold at that time, and there are still Sears and Roebuck houses out there in the U.S. today.
Wow. Not just the furniture, but the house itself.
You might be living in a Sears and Roebuck house.
In a Sears house.
My great uncle lives in one. It was brought in on the railroad
Yeah.
track.
Wow.
They live in
Yeah,
Charlotte
I didn't
County.
know that.
And
I
there's a
didn't know
couple still
that.
around that look very similar to those.
Wow. Well, you have been listening to Rhonda Holt, the Loan Maven, here with my special guest. And if you want to reach me, I am at 434-221-6361. And we can help you with a loan product and get pre-approved, or I can be reached also online at theloanmaven.com. Thanks for joining in today. Hope you have a good weekend.